Alex, does it even register in your mind that we have a daunting math exam looming next Tuesday?
I'm well aware. Why the agonizingly tense expression, as if your entire world has just crumbled?
Your unsettling composure makes me genuinely suspect you haven't grasped the sheer gravity of our predicament.
What gravity? At its very worst, it is merely a fleeting number etched onto a piece of paper.
You haven't absorbed a single shred of knowledge yet, have you?
Hey now, let's employ a bit of precise phrasing. It isn't that I haven't studied, but rather, I am meticulously cultivating the mental fortitude to begin.
You've been fermenting that motivation for so long it's practically on the verge of being declared a certified historical artifact.
What an unjust accusation. Behold my definitive battle strategy. Tonight, at 8 o'clock sharp, I shall anchor myself to the desk. I won't cease until absolute comprehension is achieved.
How remarkably credible. I am actively struggling to suppress my laughter right now.
You harbor absolutely zero faith in your comrades. Tonight, I shall capture photographic evidence of my desk just to vindicate myself.
And what exactly does an image of a pristine, blank notebook prove? If you are terrified of math, just confess and grant your soul some peace.
Who dared utter the word terrified? I simply despise the merciless manner in which geometry chooses to treat me.
What exactly has geometry inflicted upon you?
Initially, the premise always offers a delightfully innocent triangle. Out of nowhere, the teacher slashes an auxiliary line, erects a few obscure angles, and boom, 12 phantom points manifest alongside a grotesque monstrosity that resembles an intruder invading your home. How is anyone supposed to parry that?
Your vivid depiction sounds profoundly tragic. But I must confess, I am trembling a bit myself. Glancing over the formulas last night, I could barely decode half of them.
Comprehending even half is an absolute triumph.
The real dilemma lies in my inability to discern whether the half I comprehend is factually accurate or simply a fabricated delusion of my own making.
That sounds infinitely more despairing than dwelling in absolute ignorance like me. So, when confronted with an unsolvable enigma, what is your usual recourse?
I meticulously transcribed the question onto my scratch paper with the utmost elegance.
And does that miraculously conjure a solution?
Not in the slightest. But at that fleeting moment, I at least exude an aura of intense scholarly dedication.
Impeccable logic. That is the absolute zenith of self-deception as an art form.
All right, enough banter. We must embark on genuine study this time. Let's launch an online study syndicate tonight. You enlighten me on your discoveries, and I shall reciprocate with my own.
A brilliant proposition, to mutually shoulder the grueling burden of knowledge.
However, I strictly forbid you from scrolling your phone while we study. The last time you claimed to be merely checking a message, 10 minutes later, I received a video of a feline prodigy playing the piano.
In my defense, that magnificent creature performed times, for Elise times, with absolute flawless fluidity.
We are deciphering equations, not indulging in a high art renaissance. Cut all the distractions. Tonight, zero mindless scrolling and a definitive ban on piano-playing cats.
Fair enough, for the sake of a future where we are spared from facing the math teacher in a dreaded retake exam. But there must be a glorious bounty awaiting us post-study.
What sort of bounty did you have in mind?
Milk tea. I desperately require a massive infusion of sugar to resurrect my withering brain cells.
Consider it done. If you demonstrate unwavering discipline tonight and actually conquer the exercises, the milk tea is entirely on me.
Deal sealed. It turns out that beyond the suffocating darkness of mathematics, the radiant dawn of brown sugar boba awaits.
Bear that in mind. Precisely at 8 o'clock tonight, your procrastination mechanism is hereby officially neutralized.
Absolutely. Tonight, I shall unveil an unprecedentedly studious version of myself, the likes of which history has never witnessed.
Say, Alex, are you entangled in any obligations right after school?
I certainly am. I have a matter of monumental significance to attend to.
What undertaking could possibly be so intensely crucial?
Pondering deeply over what delicacy I should devour this afternoon to amass enough vitality for the imminent confrontation with math.
You haven't so much as glanced at a single digit. Yet you are already strategizing your energy reserves. Is it destined to be another mundane sandwich like yesterday?
Sandwiches have never committed the sin of betrayal against me. Friendships may wither and shift, but a sandwich remains an eternal sanctuary.
Such profoundly moving philosophy. What if I were to beckon you to a feast of fried chicken and milk tea instead?
Now you are fluently speaking the native tongue of my heart. Let us march directly toward the brown sugar boba realm, utterly devoid of hesitation.
Capitulating that swiftly, are we?
When the matter concerns milk tea, one must surrender to the heart's decrees. At the very least, milk tea will never ruthlessly judge my deplorable math scores.
It reserves its judgment, preferring merely to expand your waistline. However, prior to savoring our beverages this afternoon, a gaming duel is mandatory. I have yet to make peace with my defeat from the other day.
That previous bout saw your catastrophic downfall in under 5 mere minutes.
That was purely the tragic consequence of network lag. We rematch today. The vanquished covers the cost of the milk tea. Do you dare accept?
Challenge accepted. But hold a moment. Should I emerge victorious, you finance my beverage. Should I perish in defeat, I empty my wallet yet still revel in a cup of my own. By all calculations, a milk tea is destined for my grasp.
Such sublime cognitive gymnastics. You aren't genuinely optimistic. You are merely a glutton propelled by a crystalline objective.
I call it the masterful art of transmuting any conceivable scenario into a resounding triumph.
Very well. The pact is sealed. We engage in combat for precisely 1 hour, consume our elixirs, and retreat home to study. I am placing an absolute embargo on your notorious just one more round catchphrase.
On my honor, exactly 1 hour. Gaming to purge the stress, milk tea to replenish vitality, a light snack to fortify the spirit, and by 8 o'clock, a majestic metamorphosis into a mathematical prodigy.
Your meticulously crafted itinerary echoes the essence of a lavish vacation rather than a grueling exam preparation.
Life inherently demands exquisite equilibrium. Ponder this. Sipping that sweet nectar while staring down a fiendish math problem might just trigger a miraculous epiphany.
And what if this grand epiphany fails to materialize?
Then I shall vigorously take another sip to temper my escalating fury.
You ought to pen a manuscript and title it Chronicles of Survival, Navigating Milk Tea and Mathematical Torment.
A phenomenal proposition. Just ensure I am eternally enshrined as the glorious protagonist.
The session is commencing. Conceal all your contraband snacks immediately.
Emma, do you theorize that our educators possess the mystical art of telepathy?
To what conceivable end?
To unearth the reality that while the entire class mentally braces for academic enlightenment, my mind is intensely calculating the exact sugar and ice ratios for this afternoon's beverage.
Alex, fixate your intellect on the lesson, Your Majesty. This afternoon we march unfailingly to the gaming arena.
Understood loud and clear, Commander. This afternoon, we shall plunge into the digital battleground until absolute delirium.
Hey, Alex, have you witnessed the cinematic masterpiece that unleashed a raging tempest across social media last night?
To which epic are you referring? The clues you provide are as maddeningly ambiguous as a math problem devoid of critical data.
The very series that has entirely hijacked the class's collective conversation. The plot twist in the latest episode was savagely brilliant. Last night, my resolute intention was to indulge in a singular episode for sheer entertainment before tackling math.
And one episode treacherously mutated into two cascaded into 3, and in the blink of an eye, the dawn's light was mocking you, correct?
Have you surreptitiously planted surveillance cameras in my quarters?
I am far too intimately acquainted with this tragic narrative. It appears our impending math exam has just encountered a titanically formidable adversary.
The narrative was simply too hypnotic. Yet the supreme infuriation struck this morning. 3 seconds into launching the web, the finale was violently hurled in my face. Someone carelessly plastered a headline as nonchalant as a weather forecast. Beautiful skies today, and Character A has officially betrayed Character B. It is unspeakably maddening.
Those who brazenly dispense unprovoked spoilers deserve eternal confiscation of their digital devices. Social media nowadays resembles an utterly chaotic classroom abandoned by its overseer.
What prompts such a peculiar analogy?
Well, every soul is bellowing, every individual proclaims ultimate righteousness, and in the end, absolutely no one comprehends the ensuing madness, except for those opportunistic jesters dropping memes to harvest a million likes.
That encapsulates the tragic reality quite flawlessly. So, within this cinematic universe, which character archetype do you deeply revere?
My allegiance lies with the comedic relief, the kind of eccentric who materializes purely to ignite laughter, whilst not a single soul in the plot can fathom their motives, an uncanny reflection of my very own existence.
Splendid display of profound self-awareness. Binge it tonight, and tomorrow we shall feast upon an endless discussion. But let me issue a stern caveat. Conquer math first, then the film, and you are strictly forbidden from breathing a single syllable of a spoiler to me.
Upon my sacred honor, tonight's grand tactical maneuver is irrevocably set. Conquer math, then ingest a goblet of milk tea, clash in the gaming arena, and ultimately binge an episode. A masterful symphony of unwavering duty and euphoric leisure.
The itinerary sounds sublimely perfect, provided you do not shamble into class tomorrow bearing raccoon eyes and instantly collapsing upon your desk in slumber.
Rest your worries. My academic fervor for tonight is surging at absolute maximum capacity.
And whence does this torrential motivation flow? Do not attempt to convince me it springs from a fiery passion for numerals.
Heavens, no. It stems purely from the sheer terror of Emma's relentless nagging. That is undeniably the most devastatingly potent driving force on the face of the earth.
Hold on. What exactly are your hands feverishly manipulating beneath the desk? You are covertly launching the movie trailer, aren't you?
Absolutely not. I am merely executing a rigorous diagnostic on the network's stability to ensure a flawless connection for tonight's math symposium.
Banish that device immediately before the master crosses the threshold. Imprint tonight's covenant in your mind, mutually surviving the horrors of math, paving the way for the ultimate trinity of gaming, milk tea, and cinematic binging.
The pact is sealed. Tonight we wage an unyielding war, fiercely ensuring that mere academic scores shall never eclipse the radiant glory of our youth.